Imagine a new medicine gets approved tomorrow. A medicine that improves memory, sharpens decision making, strengthens your immune system, protects your heart, helps regulate body weight, and may even help you live a longer, healthier life. It would probably become one of the most valuable medicines ever created, right? But the remarkable part is you already have access to it. Yes, it's called sleep. Yet millions of intelligent, hardworking people willingly get less of it every single night. Hello, I'm Dr. Karthik. Today, let's look beyond popular opinion and explore what modern medical research actually tells us about sleep. I think one of the biggest misconceptions about sleep is that we treat it as downtime. We assume it that because we are asleep, nothing particularly important is happening. But biology tells a completely different story. Here's an idea I'd like you to remember. The choices you make during the day create the opportunities for good health. Sleep is when your body begins to turn those choices into results. You exercise during the day, but much of the recovery and adaptation actually happens when you are asleep. You eat nutritious food, but sleep helps regulate the hormones and metabolic processes that determine how efficiently your body uses those nutrients. You learn something new, yet much of the work involved in strengthening those memories continues after you fall asleep. In other words, health isn't built only when you're awake, it's built when you're asleep as well. That's why in 2024, the American Heart Association recognized healthy sleep as one of the essential pillars of cardiovascular health, along with nutrition, physical activity, and avoiding tobacco. That's not a wellness trend, that's where decades of scientific evidence have led us. The reason poor sleep is so easy to ignore is because its consequences are rarely immediate. One late night won't give you diabetes. One short night won't give you a heart attack, which makes you feel sleep is negotiable. But health doesn't usually change dramatically. It changes quietly, gradually, one ordinary day at a time. After a poor night's sleep, you may simply feel a little less patient, a little less focused. You reach for another cup of coffee. You snack a little more than usual. It doesn't feel like a medical problem. It just feels like another busy Tuesday. But this is where the science becomes interesting. Research over the past 2 decades has consistently linked chronic sleep deprivation with higher risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular diseases. Not because one bad night changes your health, but because thousands of ordinary nights shape the trajectory of your future health. That's how chronic diseases usually develop, not overnight, but over a long period of time. One very common thing, especially among doctors, entrepreneurs, and corporate professionals, is that sleep is often seen as a luxury. We proudly say, I'll sleep after this project, I'll catch up this weekend, I don't have time to sleep. But think about the irony. The very reason we are sacrificing sleep is to become more productive. Yet, research consistently shows that inadequate sleep affects attention, judgment, learning, decision making, and emotional regulation. In other words, sleep doesn't take time away from productivity. It determines the quality of the time you already have. Perhaps the most productive hour you spend each day is the hour you are tempted to cut from your sleep. The good news is that improving sleep doesn't require expensive gadgets or complicated biohacks. Most of the benefit comes from getting the basics right. 3 simple habits can make a meaningful difference. First, wake up at roughly the same time every day, even on weekends. A consistent wake up time is one of the strongest signals for your body's internal clock. Second, give yourself a proper wind down period. Try to avoid work emails, social media, and bright screens for at least 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. And third, change the way you think about sleep. Stop seeing it as time you are losing. Start seeing it as the time you are investing in your body for tomorrow. We spend an extraordinary amount of time searching for the next breakthrough in health, the next supplement, the next superfood, the next biohack. Yet, one of the most powerful health interventions has been available to us all along, every single night. The question is no longer whether sleep matters. The evidence has already answered that. The real question is, when will we finally start treating sleep with the same importance we give to diet and exercise? Because every night you sleep, your body quietly prepares you for tomorrow. Sleep isn't time lost, it's tomorrow's health quietly built while you are not even aware of it. I am Dr. Karthik. Until next time, make your health decisions based on evidence, not opinions. Take care.